Okay, so here's our first problem. It tells me ABCD is a rhombus. Okay, very nice. Then it asks, what is the measure of what's the measure of angle ADE? Which means I'm looking for this angle measure here. ADE is a question mark. Okay, so because this is a rhombus and we have diagonals drawn, what do we know? The diagonals are perpendicular bisectors of each other, which means that this is a 90-degree angle, 90-degree angle, 90-degree angle. I've got 4 90-degree angles there. All right. And then what else do we know? We know that the diagonals bisect the angles of the rhombus.
So,
which means
22.5.
Which means if this angle here is 53, and look at the big angle A, that's part of the rhombus, right? So if this is 53, what's this angle? 53. And now what do I have? I know 2 angles of a triangle AED. And how many degrees are in a triangle?
180.
180.
The bisect, the angles. I thought you had to split like that whole like that.
Split into 2?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. Where is my quadrilateral? It's A, B, C, D. Right? So if I were to draw that without any diagonals, right, like here, and I labeled it A, B, C, D, then this is my entire angle BAD. But that's the angle of the rhombus. But this angle is not the entire thing. Right? It's only a small part of the bigger angle, BAD. See what I'm saying? So, I don't know what this whole angle is, but what this is saying is, if I cut that angle at the diagonal, then the top part of that angle was 53. And because this is a diagonal, it cuts it into 2 equal pieces. So the bottom part is also 53, which means my entire angle would be 106 that I cut into 2 pieces. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
To everybody? Okay?
53 plus 90, subtract that by 180.
Right.
Subtract it to 180, you'll get 37.
Sure. So if I add all of those together, 53, 90, and x, I should get 180 because they are 3 angles of a triangle. This tells me 143 plus x equals 180. So x equals, subtract 143.
37.
Questions there? So again, you're going to use these properties. You got to know how to apply them, and you've got to remember all the other rules that we've learned about 180 degrees in a triangle, about what does perpendicular mean. Right, the next one, I've got another quadrilateral that is a rhombus. So GHJK is a rhombus. So I know I have these 2 properties to deal with. Right, the question is, what is the measure of GH? What's the measure of GH? Well, do I know anything about GH? This is all I know. And because it's a rhombus, all of these sides are equal. That's what makes it a rhombus. So, what's my thought process? If I can somehow figure out what x is, I can then plug x in here and find HJ. And then once I find HJ, it's going to be the same for all the sides.
You add every equation together and set it equal to 360.
Okay? So, are these equations talking about angle measures or side lengths?
Side length.
Side lengths. So side lengths have nothing to do with 360, right?
Or 180.
They have nothing to do with 180 either. Those are angle measures. 180 and 360 are angle measures. Right here we're looking at side lengths. And so what do I know about side lengths of a rhombus? Diagonals are perpendicular bisectors of each other. So perpendicular means where they meet is 90-degree angle. Okay, well I don't really care about the angles. So what's the next thing it tells me? Bisect. That means that these diagonals cut each other into halves, 2 equal pieces. So that means this section, which is 2x plus 3, is the same as this section, which is 4x minus 7. They're the same measure because it's been bisected. Does that make sense? So I would set up that equation, say those two things are equal to each other, and solve. So for me, I've got to get x's on the same side, so I would subtract by 2x first. That cancels, that tells me 3 equals 2x minus 7. Now I would add 7. So 10 equals 2x. And then I would divide by 2. Which tells me x equals 5. So is the question what is x? No, it's what is GH. So I'm going to take this 5, plug it in here, right, like we talked about. So that would be 3 times 5, which is 15, plus 1 is 16. So if HJ is 16, then GH is also 16. All of the sides have the same measure. That's what makes it a rhombus. So kind of a lot of steps.